Hello everyone, and welcome to Cabbage Patch Soap. My name is Laura, and today I will be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be making an Indiana soap as well as a fireball soap. So those two colors you saw me push off to the side, those will be going into this main batch here. And this is the lye water going into the oils. The oils I'm using are all vegan and organic. And I'm just going to blend these together. So this soap is different for a couple different reasons. One of them is because I am going to be using soap dough to make the designs. And this fragrance is aloe vera. It has a very clean and green fragrance to it. It smells really nice. So I'm just going to blend this in. And I haven't used this fragrance before. It did seem to thicken up a little quicker than I was expecting. But it still worked out okay in the end, I think. So I'm going to be dividing this into two different batches real quick. I'm going to be making that smaller one black. And here's the white going in. I'm just going to blend this together. And now I'm going to add in the black. The black is made with activated charcoal. And near the mold you might notice is a little bit different. It's the wooden frame that goes around my pink silicone molds. I've lined it with paper because when I made the soap dough pieces, they ended up being a little bit bigger than I was expecting, and they didn't quite fit into the liner. But when I took the liner out, it just barely fit inside this mold. So I decided to go ahead and just line it with paper. But if I make the soap again in the future, I do have a method now to make the soap dough pieces a little bit smaller so that they'll fit. And here I'm just adding the black in with the white. I wanted kind of a marbly look. I'm putting a little bit in the bottom first. This is going to support some of those soap dough pieces. And I'm just tapping it to spread it out. I'm trying to avoid using the spatula to spread it because I don't want to smear the colors. And these are the Indiana soap dough pieces. So you can see I've cut them out individually and then stacked them together so that when the soap is sliced, it'll have the Indiana state going through the whole bar. And what I'm doing is, because the state is kind of curved on the bottom, I'm making a ledge out of that soap so that there won't be a gap underneath the corner. And then on the top end here, I'm just spreading on some soap because, as I mentioned before, this barely fits in the mold, and I don't think there's going to be a big enough gap to fit the soap down in there, so I'm putting it on first. I'm just going to set that in here. And when I was putting this in, I was really concerned that the pieces would not have soap going all the way around, or that there'd be large gaps, so this was definitely an experiment, and I did decide that if I make the soap again in the future, I'm going to use a different method to make the state so that it'll fit better. And what you just saw me do there a moment ago was I was marking the mold so I would know where to cut, just in case it wasn't obvious when I took it out of the mold. And I'm just making sure that soap batter gets down in all the crevices. Most of that will get sliced off with the end pieces anyway, but I wanted just to make sure, just in case it, didn't cut perfectly. I'm just going to give the top a little bit of a swirl. I really like the texture that this gives. Here's it up front. And now I'm going to do the second batch. So after making this, I had some leftover soap dough. I didn't want it to go to waste, so I decided to make little fireballs out of it. since we have this black and white soap batter anyway, I thought I'd give it a real smoky look. And here's the little soap balls. I kept them wrapped in plastic so they wouldn't dry out while I was making the other soap. And I'm just going to dump them in the batter here, and then we'll mix them up. And they're different sizes. And these are also made with, you know, vegan and organic oils as well. And I made the soap dough myself. So here is the mold that I usually use with the liner. And I'm just making sure that the fireballs are very well coated in the soap batter. As you can see, the batter is getting pretty thick. Now, because this was a complete experiment, like a lot of my videos actually are, I wasn't sure if I was going to sell these soaps, but I decided that, you know, after you know, taking pictures and looking at them, I think it would be fun to put them up in my shop. So these will be part of the Spring Fling collection, and I'm going to go ahead and make them available in my shop on April 1st. And I'm just doing my best to cover everything with soap batter. I wanted to use up all the soap batter I had. And here I'm just going to be swirling this and giving it a similar texture top. And here that soap is up close. And here we are about a day later to slice these into bars. And I'm going to show the cutting of both bars. So this one is the Indiana State soap bars. I wanted to make sure that this was perfectly lined up. I didn't want any mistakes on slicing these bars. So I was just double checking. And here we go. This is the end piece, which actually came out better than I thought it would for being the end. And then here's the first bar. I think these came out really nice. And here's the next one. I was actually really surprised that the soap batter got all the way around, because as you can see, this really fills the mold. There's very little space left around the edges at all. And these are the last two end pieces here. And then this is the fireballs. This one looks really craggy, which I think works with the design very well. And this smells really good. It really does smell clean and fresh. And then here's the first bar. And I think these look really neat. It's a very dramatic and striking effect, I think. And the colors didn't get too muddied, which is what I was worried about. They actually look really nice. And then these are the end pieces. And of course the end pieces I cut up and use for samples. And then here are some pictures. And what I did with the Indiana stamps was, or the soaps, is I put a cardinal stamp on there. And here's another picture. And if you like these videos, I upload every Monday and Thursday, so please consider liking this video and subscribing. It really helps me out. And thank you for watching. You have a great day.